Hey Lolas, so I'm here with Paris Me and More, and just going to talk a little bit about my journey with collecting, and I guess some may say that I'm transitioning into becoming a reborn doll artist, but I want to first say Paris Me and More is my very first Yogi baby, which she was painted and rooted by Yogi, Yolanda Boyd Glover. And I got Paris, I think we're either at 5 years or in a few months we're going to be at 5 years. And I've had her longer than any doll in my collection. She is definitely a forever baby. She's weighted to pure perfection. She feels wonderful. She's on an ethnic body. If you guys can see, she's on an ethnic body, custom made body that I had made for her, and I switched out after several years of not being able to switch her out. But what I kind of wanted to sit and talk to you guys about is I know that we speak on being judged a lot as collectors and adult collectors of dolls. And as I stated before, you can't really explain this to anyone that's not a collector or that does not have the capability of having an open mind. However, when it comes to friends and family, you can't just shut your family out because of your hobby. And my family has, I come from a very accepting family. First of all, let me say that. From, you know, my family, like every other family has, you know, a lot of different things that come up in families. But my family, I like to think that my family accepts, we're a very accepting family. Like, it's not judging. Like, when my cousin first came out of being a lesbian, you know, it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm disowning you and this and that. I mean, her mom's highly religious, so yeah, she kind of, you know, don't agree. But I'm just saying, like, all these different things, and I know you're like, okay, so that's comparing that to dolls. Yes, you won't believe how deeply people will judge you just off of this hobby. I don't know what it is about this hobby, but it just really freaks some people out. But my family never really judged me harshly on it because I've always collected dolls. Not as realistic as these dolls. They were fascinating. But yeah. But what happened is it went from, oh, she's always collected dolls, blah, 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 to how much they cost. And then you have to go through that transition of where, oh my God, you're spending that much money on those dolls. And then it's like, I would get comments like, oh, well, if you want to just blow money and waste money, I got a baby over here that you can spend this money on, or you can do this. Or people coming to you like saying, can I get, you know, $200, or oh, giving you a sob story or whatever. And then it goes from there. And then when, you know, so I would kind of try to justify it. I would say, well, you know, sometimes I sell them to make money so I can buy a new one and stuff like that. They go, oh, those things, people buy them even after you. Yeah, I bought the first one originally, so yeah, somebody else is gonna buy it. And they're like, oh, they hold their value and all this. Oh, well, you could just sell a doll and do blah 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 blah, and you could just sell a doll and do blah 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 blah. And it's like, oh my God. So you go through all of that, and then so fast forward, and then as I started to paint them, you know, everybody want a doll painted. They're not even into dolls. You're not even a collector. Oh, I want you to paint me a baby look like this. I want you to paint me a baby look like that. And it's like, okay. And at first, I won't lie. Sometimes you're very excited to be painting, and you know, ooh, my aunt wants a doll, my cousin wants a doll, like, you know, oh, my friend wants a doll. Oh, I can do it, I can do it. But you don't realize how much time it takes and everything. And then they go with these specific bizarre things. I want you to make it just like little Joey when he was 2 months old. I want all the details just like how his picture is. And you're like, I'm just now starting to paint. So you go through, I've been through that. And then it becomes, how much are you making off your dolls? Oh, are you going to sell that one? How much is that one going to go for? And it's like, it becomes exhausting. So I've learned to not share price. I've learned to not share my dolls, actually, with my family like I used to. I used to would take them over. When I get a new one, I would run and take them over to see my grandparents. But then, of course, at my grandparents' house, it's usually a host of aunts and uncles that's over there. No matter what time of the day you go, there's always a lot of traffic over there as far as family. And I learned to just not take them because I don't like all the questions. I don't like the judging. I don't like, you know, the do this and do that. And the worst thing that happened to me was family member asking me for money. They asked me for money. They didn't ask to borrow it. They asked, could I have it? And not a little bit of money, a lot of money, hundreds. And to me, hundreds is a lot. You know, maybe some people thousands is a lot. Hundreds is a lot. I'm a single mom. I have 5 kids. And when I hesitated and then said I didn't have it to just give, it was all this stuff went on, and I was ridiculed because people were saying, I butchered that word, because people were like, well, you know, she could just sell one of those expensive dolls if she really wanted to help. And it's like, why must I sell my personal belongings for you? So you go through all these phases with your family and friends and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys have experienced that, but I have. Maybe I was just too open with my family, and maybe that I caused that on myself, but I went through that. And then it went from, oh, it's your hobby, enjoy it, do what you want, you know, blah, 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 blah. But when they put the money aspect in it, all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're doing too much, or I can't believe you're going to get on a plane to go to a doll show? Like, you're going to die for dolls? I can't believe you're going to get on a plane just to go for dolls, you know. And it's like, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to Orlando, or I'm going to Tampa. You going to go to Tampa for dolls? Like, you know, it's like, so I just don't talk about it anymore to them. I'll talk about dating. When I first started collecting, the first doll I had was Walter. Well, the first reborn that I had was Walter by Laura Tudoraz. It was reborn by, I can't think of this lady's name. I don't know why. She was so sweet. But that was the first doll that I bought. And let me see where I'm at on time. And the lady and the doll, you know, for me, I thought it would look, you know, people are blown away about the sculpting. That they look realistic, because you can't go into Walmart and get a doll that is sculpted as realistic as the reborns. Let's just face it. And so even if the painting isn't that great, people are amazed because it's like, oh my gosh, like, ooh, it has real looking fingers, it has real looking feet. So that's why I'm not that impressed with like reactions when you go out in public, because if people are not real doll collectors or art collectors, or, you know, I don't know, it just sometimes it's overrated, because they're awed by almost anything that looks realistic in sculpting, not even just the painting. So it's not like a real compliment. It's a compliment to me when another artist compliment my work, or a collector compliment my work and say it's realistic. Anyway, or, you know, not just my work on my dolls in my collection, I mean to say. But when I first got my first doll, my guy was like, I said, do you think I'm weird now? And he's like, no. He was like, I think you have a hobby. And he's like, hobbies are great. And, you know, he's an older guy. And so he was very accepting. And he didn't judge me on it. And then I started getting more. And then he said, okay, when I got to about 3, he said, don't you think that's enough now? You can stop buying them now. You got enough, right? At that point, it was becoming an addiction. And he didn't know it, but I knew I couldn't stop at 3. But I was like, yeah. And then the clothes thing. I remember watching Pooh Bear 253, and I was a huge fan of hers, just by the way, guys. I know I said that before. And I would watch her, like, how neat and organized her closet was. And she had all these cute bottles to match the pacifiers, and outfits that matched the pacifiers, and all these hats and this and that. And she had all these different bins, and she had all these clothes. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, she has a lot of stuff for these dolls. Like, they don't need that much. It's like, oh my God, this is cute, but this is overboard. So I showed him her video one day, and I said, you talking about me with the clothes that I got? Look at this. She has a whole closet for her baby. She has a whole room, whole nursery. And then I started thinking, I want a nursery, you know? And so he was like, yeah. He was like, wow, these ladies are really into this. He was like, this is serious, you know? But overall, he didn't really judge me. But then he started saying, well, I hope you're not spending your paycheck on it. He was like, why don't you, when you get a new one and you're tired of the old one, sell it. He was like, let the dolls pay for themselves. And I thought, okay, that's not a bad idea. So I started doing that. So as you guys know, I've had over 100 and something dolls, and I definitely don't have none of them anymore right now. And that's what I was doing. But there was a time where money became an issue, where he was like, oh my God, you're like spending all this money on these dolls and stuff like that. Came up in like a, you know, little heated conversation. But overall, he would get upset with me when I would get angry, and I would be like, you know, I'm just going to stop collecting. I got to see how much time we got. Oh, I'm like, you know, I'm going to stop collecting. And he would be like, he would be like, Sunshine. Yes, I'm Sunshine, chocolate. Girl, what? Yes. He would be like, Sunshine, why would you do that? It makes you happy. He was like, I want you to be happy. He's like, anything that makes you happy makes me happy. Enjoy your hobby. Don't stop collecting. He's like, find ways to, you know, continue to collect or whatever you want to do. He was like, no, make your videos, do your thing. And then one day he was like, you know what? You need to go ahead. You need to pack up. We need to move you to the master bedroom, and which was upstairs, because originally, I think I told the story, long story short, when I first moved in the house, I had to stay on the first floor because I had surgery. And so I ended up in the guest bedroom, but I got comfortable down there because it was right next to the kitchen. Girl, what? My little fat butt was able to eat all the time and stuff. So he said, I'm going to put your fridge, a mini fridge upstairs, and I want to move you upstairs. So he was like, because his dolls, he's like, when he comes to see me, he's like, you got to move the baby. So I remember him watching the game, and Paris laying next to him on a pillow, and he puts a blanket over her because the ceiling fan was on. I guess he thought she was cold. I don't know. But it was funny. It was just a reaction of his. He would always do that, put a blanket on Paris. He loves Paris more, and maybe that's why I kept her so long. I don't know. But he loves her. He always checks for her. Out of all the babies, he's like, where's that little Indian, Puerto Rican, Mexican looking baby that you got? He said, did you sell her? And I'm like, no. He's like, oh, okay, good. And then he's like, she's really pretty. So he's always really loved Paris. So anyway, so he said, why don't you make this a nursery? Because the dolls are taking over. So I ended up making the guest bedroom a nursery. And, you know, it just went from there. So dating, it hasn't been an issue. It really hasn't been an issue at all. And then, but then moving forward, oh my gosh, we're going to go over 15 minutes. Are you guys okay with this? I hope so. If not, just click off. So moving forward, as I start to paint and as I start to get better at it, and then I sold some of my boo-boo babies, and then, you know, you get a little taste of the money and you're like, oh, you know, when I was selling my boo-boo babies, really all it did was replace supplies. A lot of people think this is like a get-rich scheme. And I see a lot of people talking about it in the forums and stuff like that. And I have to agree, but sometimes they're a little harsh on people and judging people when they're new artists and stuff like that. Some of the things that they say, I feel like it's coming not from a good place, but because they're just mad because collectors are buying the lower end dolls too. And so, but I do agree, like, you know, if you think you're going to jump in it and just start making money, it don't work like that. Because, like, for me, I was selling dolls for like $150, you know, $200, $300 at the most, which that was as I start getting better. I didn't just like, oh, $300. I based them off of how they came out. But if they had a boo-boo, you know, this, that, and the other, I would sell them based off of how they came out. But it will only replace the kit cost. You know, like, I paint a lot of limited edition kits. Like, I don't really paint a lot of Bountiful Baby kits or reborns or stuff like that. So I paint kits that I like, which is usually limited editions, which is usually from $109 to $130. You know, like the Gabby Gills, they're like $130 or so. The Dwaynes, you know, by Claire Taylor. You know, and so those add up. Like, think about it. I've painted 9 Gabby Gills. So I've spent, so nine Gabby Gills times 130. You do the math, because I can't count that good. That's like $1,100 on just the kit. You see what I'm saying? So when people like, oh, you know, blah blah blah, when each one with my Awake Gabby Gills, automatic, like, there's at least probably like $250 in it, invested in it, for me, on my end. So when you see people selling dolls for like $500, they're only making like $150, because by the time you buy stuff to go in the box, the shipping and insurance and signature required or whatever, they're not making a lot of money off of each doll. And you know how long it takes to make one doll? You know, it takes a while, so it's not like you could just crank them out. I know some people do, but I mean, even if you're painting really fast, it's still, basically, unless you're one of those artists that's making like $2,000 per reborn, the profit is not that high, but it's decent. It can be, as you know, as you get better and as your prices go up. But so I get to this. Then it became to the point where now it's like, for me, no one expects me to paint a doll for myself. Every doll is like, is that one for sale? When are you going to sell that one? Why haven't you sold that one? Oh, I would just sell that one. You should sell that one. You could just make another one. It's like, no, I painted this one for me. Like, I want to keep this one. And it's like, almost like never being able to keep a child. Like, you got to give all of them up. Like, why can't I keep one of my children? Like, you know, it's like, it's I don't know. It's weird. And then the other thing about me, which is very much a problem for me and had stopped me from actually selling and just painting for myself for a while, was the fact that, you guys know, I do a lot of videos where I speak about my feedback, and, you know, like, I talk about, you know, the different pros and cons of dolls. I critique a lot of dolls, you know, and stuff like that. And I do it to myself bad. And which is why, of course, sometimes I'll sell a really good doll for a little nothing, because it'll have the slightest little flaw. I have one right now that I'm having a freaking fit about. I love everything about the doll, but the tip of the fingers didn't look as neat as I wanted them to. So I decided I can't sell that one. I'm gonna keep that one for myself because of that. You know what I mean? Because if I sold it, I would have to make it way cheaper than what it really should go for. So I do critique myself really bad, just as bad as I do everybody else. Even though I know I'm not on the level with everybody else. You know, people want to judge me because I have been so opinionated in the past. They want to judge me up against people like Brooke Nicole or something. Girl, what? I have not been painting that long for you to think that I'm painting like someone that dolls sell for $4,000 and $5,000. Anyway, so now I deal with that. That's the struggle in the community. The struggle in the community is that I feel bad. I feel like I can't say anything about any dolls or anything because everybody's gonna like jump on me with my dolls. So now it's like, okay, I better not say nothing because everybody's gonna attack me. The other thing is, go lay down in the chair until I'm done because it's really early. You really should be still asleep. Just move that. Yeah, go ahead. And so the other thing is, on a personal level, everybody expects me to sell my dolls. Like every doll must be for sale. Like now it's like they don't want. It's like almost like they're trying to take my hobby away from me. Like I can't collect. I just must sell. I shouldn't buy anymore because, oh, you could just make a doll. It's not the same. Like I want to collect other people's dolls too. Like, you know. And so I don't know. The hobby can be complex, but you have to find your ways of handling it and deal with it. So what I do is I do commentary and I make it funny, and every now and then I throw shade. And I think I can get away with it, but I'm sure I'm not getting away with it with some people. But I sell for a little while and then I'll stop. Like I've been on a roll of making dolls because I have a lot of kids right now. So I'll make a couple of them and I'll sell them for now. And then you'll see a post and say, okay, right now I'm just painting for myself. Because I don't want to get attacked by the sharks. Because these artists are brutal out here. Like they're afraid it's like they're fighting for their lives. Like if someone else start painting, it's like, oh my God, another one. Oh my God, oh my gosh. You know, it's like, no, you have your customers and your clientele, and that artist is gonna have theirs. Everybody's style is different, and every artist collect like a different particular style. So that artist may not have never been your customer anyway because they may not like your style of work. However, vice versa, they may not like my style, so they may never be my customer. So it's a challenge, but overall I think it's great. I've enjoyed learning, and I'm still learning and trying to try different things, and just grow within the industry, the hobby, as a person. So that's just a little background. I know this video has been long. I'm gonna cut it off. And plus it's like 5 in the morning, I think, and Gabby just woke up. So yeah, I was hoping that she would sleep in late because I want to run to the grocery store and make grocery so that we can have food. And when I say I was hoping she would sleep in late so I can go make grocery, there is somebody here. Her brother is here, so he could watch her. She wouldn't be by herself, just for the record. But so, oh my God, this is 23 minutes long. Okay guys, I'll do another video where it's a little bit closer up on Paris Memoir. But I just thought I would have her here. She's so cuddly. Like she's like the most cuddly baby. She actually was supposed to be 3/4 arms and legs, but I put her on a full leg body, and she's been missing a while. But she still have her 3/4 arms, of course, but her legs were super long, so it just made sense to put her on a full leg body. Let me show you. She has long. They're thin, but not. They're skinny, but not skinny. They're okay. She's supposed to be newborn, but that's no way. This is too long for newborn. Anyway, guys. See Paris. Hey, Paris.